All right, Tamal, our next video.
Hi.
Hi. So we stopped at your father, Danito, wanted, after the first injury, wanted to connect to the ground.
That's right.
What happened afterwards? Like, what can you tell us?
Well, when I was 4 years old, we came here. He convinced my mom that we need to go in a, that they need to go and live in a kibbutz. I don't know if it was hard to convince her or not, but the story, what she told us, that when she heard that there's a dining room here and she doesn't have to cook, that bought her, and they came here. Well, I was 4 years old. It was the year was 1977. A little group of people came to this hill. There was nothing here except actually the rooms of the
Yes. The rooms of the country lodging
right.
behind us.
That's
Actually,
right. Those were the first
first rooms.
the first rooms in the kibbutz, the first buildings actually. No trees, no grass, no sidewalks, nothing, no electricity. It was almost like Little House on the Prairie, the series that was one of my favorite as a child. It was not.
Did you
Yeah.
live in that room with your parents, or you lived in the children's room?
No, it was while growing up in the 70s in a kibbutz in Israel. We didn't live with our parents. We had like the kindergarten, and most of the day we spent there. We even slept there at night, and we used to see our parents 3 to 4 hours a day. It sounds very, very strange today, but and well, it didn't last. It didn't last because
How was your experience with this?
well, I remember it as a good experience, but I know many people still suffer from trauma. So it was controversial.
Okay.
It was controversial, but I remember it as a very good experience. But that's what I knew. I didn't know anything else.
Yes.
So
So you moved to the kibbutz. You went in this little apartment. You lived in children's home, and
yeah, well, the grass that you see here, I planted it with my own hands. It was a celebration. Yeah, you know, planting the first grass in the kibbutz. It was this grass that we're
Really?
sitting on right now. I remember this day. I was like probably 4 or 5 years old, and I remember everybody came with grass and planting grass. And I remember paving these sidewalks.
Really?
It was living here, living in a kibbutz as a child. It meant living in nature. It was knowing every tree and flower and butterfly by its name, and every bug by its name, and
Yes.
experiencing the seasons in their full
yes,
meaning. Like mud in the
a
winter,
lot of mud.
a lot of mud in the winter. Springtime was fabulous. It still is, by the way. Watching all the flower bursts.
And what was that? I want to get back to also to Danny. What was his first role when he came here? Like what did he do? What did he connect first?
Well, I think he worked in the plantations.
I think also.
Yeah, I
the
think-
orchards. Yes,
Yeah, the avocado.
I think
Oh.
avocado. Yeah, he started in the avocado.
Yeah, he always, well, since he came here, agriculture was his game. He worked in the plantations and in the cow shed, and
Yeah,
yeah, he was a farmer.
he actually was in the dairy farm for like 20
Yeah,
years,
at least,
something like that.
Yeah. Until his last year, I think. He was
Yes,
still working
yes.
with the cows,
Yes.
and also he knew every cow by
So
its
have
name.
you worked with him? Have you?
Yeah,
worked with
actually,
him?
actually, we had a period of almost, I think, a year and a half that we worked together with the cows.
Really?
Yeah, I used to work in the
I was
cow.
working with him.
Challenging.
I worked with him also
Yeah,
for like 20
he was
years.
a working man. He was
Yeah.
like a workaholic. He
You,
was
yeah, you do like him. You have to work like him. You can't.
You have to work like him and keep his pace, which
Yeah.
was really, really tough.
going
but-
on a trip with him.
Yeah.
It's, he
But-
was over there. He wouldn't wait for you.
That's right. But during this 18 months, more or less, we really connected.
Ah,
Really
really?
connected, yeah.
Okay.
For the first time. Not for the first time, but on a new level as a father and son while we were working together. So,
Wow.
yeah.
So I think the next video, what we're gonna do is get to know more about Dani and Nomi, your
Yeah,
mother.
there was a wife in the background.
There was a
also,
wife
right?
in the background, I know, and we're gonna speak about how they met, and little to know how they get along when they moved here. So that's what we're gonna do in the next video.
Okay.
So thank you very much.
My pleasure.